The next morning there was the sun shining and all bright, with the birds singing, just a normal beautiful day. I was just sitting up in the bed with my legs and knees pulled up to my chest covered with the blanket staring into the mirror. Mom came and followed by Dad, and she sat on the edge of the bed and he stood in the doorway. "Look, now I know that there is something wrong, and I want to know what it is. I've been your mother for 18 years, and we want to know what's wrong?" I looked first at Mom, and then at Dad, and then back at Mom. She just sat there looking at me and I finally replied, "No you don't," and then stared back in the mirror. They both looked at me really strange. Dad stepped to the side and stood at the foot of my bed asking what was wrong. I looked at him and said that there was nothing wrong, everything was peachy keen, really far out. He stared at me again saying, "James, you can talk to us if there is something wrong, or if you don't feel well then just let us know. Now please tell us what is wrong." I looked at him and told him he was blocking the mirror. He turned and looked at the mirror and then back at me and team tagged Mom, and it was now returned. It was like a cheap wrestling match in Podunk, Jacksonville, Illinois. She then tried the direct upset approach with a touch of too much salt, and standing demanded, "James, we're not stupid, and we know there's something wrong, and we want to know what it is, and we aren't leaving this room unless you tell us now." I looked at her, and then switched to Dad, and then back to her. "Okay, I'll tell you what's wrong. I'll tell you both what's wrong. I want to start identifying as a female, I want to start dressing as a girl. I want to change my sex from male to female. I want to wear dresses, grow my hair long, have pretty nails, take estrogen and spironolactone, have breasts, wear bras, and have an orchiectomy performed. I'm not sure about a vaginoplasty at this time, but it is too soon to even begin to consider. Oh, and I want Dad to move, and not block the mirror." Well, this rained on their parade. No, that's not correct, this tornadoed on their parade. Mom looked at Dad, Dad looked at Mom, and they both looked at me. Then Mom in her knowing motioned for Dad to move out of the way and not block the mirror. I looked at both of them, and I told them that it is a shock, and that they weren't expecting it, but that is what I want. You can send me to a therapist, as a precaution, and to make sure that I don't have any other mental issues. I think you should do that for now. But for the time being, me dressing as a girl, and to start identifying as a female won't hurt anyone. It will only make me content, and please me to know that you care enough to consider my feelings. You can hope it's a phase, and that I'll snap out of it, but I won't." I looked at Dad, and said, "If I need to I can always freeze my sperm so that if I find surrogate at a later date you can still have grandchildren." Mom said, "Well, I'm going to go and cook breakfast, and after we have eaten I will take you to our bedroom, and I'll start to show you how to present yourself as a girl." I knew this was the psychological approach, and it is what she should have done. It is the only logical thing that she could have done. After the ritual Sunday morning swilling of pig fat and poultry embryos, Mom and I went back to her bedroom, and we began the process of falling down the rabbit hole. Mom's Becoming Female 101 started with me preparing my body. She asked if I had any razors. I told her that I have one that can be used for a while, and I also have a brand new one. That should be good for your underarms. Now I want you to only shave your underarms, but cheeks and face. It may burn you if you use a depilatory cream on your underarms, and I don't want you to take a chance getting it anywhere close to your anus or eyes. She stepped into her bathroom and returned with a pump spray bottle and a small nylon kitchen spatula and told me that this is what I use to rid my body of hair. It works very well except on my underarms where it burns. I know you don't have a lot of chest hair except for that little patch in the center, and you can shave that or try the depilatory spray, but be careful, I don't want you to get it into your eyes. Once you're hairless we can start, and you can use my bathroom if you want." I knew she was sort of humoring me, making me see how much more women go through than men did when it came to grooming. Too bad for her, but for some reason I really enjoyed what many women would call a nuisance to make them presentable. Strange, I never realized how much I would enjoy the daily efforts. I went and got my razors, and also stripped down to my boxers, and put on a robe. I went into her bathroom, and began with the spray, and spread it with the spatula. It didn't burn as much as it tingled. While that was working I shaved my face, underarms, and my butt cheeks. Afterwards, seeing a bottle of moisturizing lotion, I used that to cover my body. When I was done she inspected me, and asked how I felt. I told her I felt wonderful now, adding that I so enjoyed how soft my body felt. She smiled, the first smile since we started, and then we progressed onto the second semester. Mom pulled out some liquid foundations, and she mixed them together on the back of her hand. She began to stipple these all over my face using a brush, and then blending them together to create a smooth color to cover my face. As she was doing this, she told me that she was creating her canvas for her art. I thought that this was funny, but at the same time very smart. As she worked her magic, she continued saying that this was to help her bridge the differences between male and female skin. Us girls have smaller pores than men do, so this will help cover them. Mixing the two foundations will give the skin the ability to accept the other colors and add depth and contour to your face, making it more feminine or appear more feminine. She not only worked on my face, but also on my neck. This would give the impression that the skin continued to cover my body. I paid attention when she told me that people looked at each other in combinations, such as face and neck, hands and arms, depending on how much of our skin was visible. Once she was done with that, using a contour stick to add contours to my cheeks, chin, on the sides, and to my forehead. She didn't blend that into my skin as I thought she might, but began to add what she called the highlighter and concealer under my eyes. I tried to pay close attention as I wanted to learn as much as I could from someone that indeed knew what she was doing. She blended the concealer with an angled brush, and when she had finished that, she brought out another brush that she called her spoon brush. This wasn't my mom, but an artist at work turning me into her masterpiece. I have to say it really felt good having her blending all the colors together. I could see that this would make my face not only look like I was in a certain light, but intensify the highlights and shadows in whatever light bathed my face. A translucent powder set the foundation and created a soft and smooth matte look to my skin. Setting the color with a light beige powder foundation completed the feminine appearance to my face. Next was my brows, and before adding any color, she groomed and tweaked my brows, removing stray hairs and shaping them. She made them more arched and thinner than the brows that I had. She elongated and filled in the lighter areas with a simple brow pencil. She lengthened them and darkened the inner corners to complete my brows. Using a brow powder, she darkened them even more and created cleaner lines. A red-orange eyeshadow was applied to the lids of my eyes next. This she blended all over my lids to create a base for her next color. This turned out to be an ashy brown that she applied to the outer corners of my eyelids. A shiny copper pigment was used to line my eyes and create a subtle but beautiful eyelid. The copper was done on the lower line of my eyes and was accented by a gold color under my eyes. Another liner was used, but this time in black, to really make my eyes explode out to grab the attention. I was very worried that she might stick me in the eye, but she didn't, and wasn't even worried as she explained, always put the liner on using as long strokes as possible to make it them all the same width. The mascara was next, and she applied it to my upper and lower lashes, adding depth, color, and volume to my thin lashes. I thought my eyes were really pretty, but then she added some false lashes which added so much more to my eyes. Bon Voyage eyeshadow and luminizer was applied under my eyes to add highlights to my cheeks and really make my eyes the center of attraction. My lips were treated to a nude lip liner, shaping my lips and adding fullness to them. Shaping and coloring seemed to be going hand in hand as she applied a nude pink color to give my lips such a beautiful soft glowing color. She told me that she had a wig that I could use until I got my own while waiting for my natural hair to grow out. She fitted the wig cap on first, making sure all my stray hair was tucked away. She brought out a light blue dress that she wanted me to wear, and you will have to wear a dress. This is one that will fit you, I'm sure, as it is a little bit small on me. Of course I have a bra for you to wear as well. She also brought out a new package of pantyhose that she had brought, but she didn't like the fit. They fit perfectly on me. The wig, or my hat, as she called it, was fitted, and when I looked in the mirror I immediately fell in love with my new look. For the first time in my life I felt wonderfully at ease, peaceful, and excited all at the same time. I always knew that there was something missing in my life, and now I felt unwrapped for all the world to see. I was also given a new name. You can't go out into the world looking like that, and having a name like James. From now on you will be my lovely daughter Janelle. So Janelle, what do you think?